Heading into the third and final ODI of the three-match series against New Zealand, there's obviously a few concerns for India. One is the fact that they lost the second match, and even in the first, which they won, it wasn't exactly a convincing victory. On top of that, there have been a few players who perhaps not looked as efficient as they should. And the fact that a series decider is needed in an Indian series is in itself a rare thing. However, when speaking to the media present at Indore, which is of course the venue of the third game of the series, Mohammed Siraj looked to downplay a lot of it and focus instead on some positives and trying and actually keeping spirits high. One of the major things which he did was actually come to the defense of an under-fire Ravindra Jadeja. Jadeja, it's worth noting, didn't get a single wicket in the last game, and in general, his demeanour in ODIs has led to some saying that perhaps it's time to start phasing him out of white ball cricket altogether. Don't forget, he's already retired from T20Is. However, Siraj disagrees with that notion. Here's what he had to say in that regard. He said that, look, there are no concerns over Jaddu's form. It is a matter of him getting one wicket. If he can do that, you will see a different kind of player. Now, I can understand entirely Siraj defending him. After all, this is an Indian team that has usually kept any criticism in-house. So him coming out and publicly standing by his teammate, very, very understandable. But if what Siraj is saying is right, then that one wicket with Jadeja needs to unlock the floodgates, so to speak, needs to come very soon, because after this, there's not going to be any white ball cricket that he plays for India until at least June, July. And by that point, maybe, just maybe, a chorus will have grown to actually keep him out of a series every now and then, despite the fact that he doesn't play T20 cricket. Another interesting thing which he had to speak about was the team atmosphere in general and how it is that feels that they're having to play a series decider. Here's what he had to say about that. He said that, look, the team atmosphere right now is excellent. We are getting good inputs from the senior players. Now, playing a series decider in India is rare for us, but it's good too. And again, what he's saying isn't exactly wrong, because what he would go on to expand and say is that it gives something of a do-or-die feeling to the side, that they have to win this game or else. That's pretty much it. And whilst he's right that this can be something that's good for building experience and for bringing in a winning mentality, it's worth noting that this is a team that actually has a lot of experience. So perhaps the fact that they're not winning games as regularly is still a little bit more of an indictment on how they're being managed rather than the players themselves, because that's a quality team right there. They just haven't quite come together. And one of the key reasons, of course, that India have struggled as much as they have in this series has been the good form of Daryl Mitchell. And one journalist rather jokingly was suggesting to Siraj, why is it that the Indian team can't simply just get Daryl Mitchell out? And Siraj had pretty funny response to that, coupled with some analysis. He said that, look, we are always trying to get Daryl Mitchell out, but he has played spin well and is good at scoring in the middle overs. Dew in Rajkot didn't help us. Now, that last part I will wholeheartedly agree with. There were occasions where you could see that the bowlers were struggling with the grip. He also mentioned the fact that Mitchell was dropped in the last game, and he's correct. Kuldeep Yadav managed to get him to sky one, but it was dropped. And he's saying that didn't help. We made a chance, we didn't take it. Mitchell's a top-class player, and he made us pay for it. And of course, it is worth noting that with Siraj, he's not just at this point someone who is only an ODI player, a test player. At one point, he was part of the T20 team as well. In fact, he was part of the same T20 team that went on to lift the World Cup in 2024, a title that India will now be defending in about a month's time. So when quizzed about how it felt to be in and out of certain teams, he did bite his tongue, but also made it clear that, yeah, not being part of the T20 side did bother him just a little bit. How so? This is what he had to say. He's saying that, look, for any player, being part of a World Cup is a dream. So not being in that side, obviously, it does make you feel a little bit. He's saying, but the current T20s team is very strong, and I have full confidence they will win the cup. In fact, he also said, he's saying that I can't say that I want them to bring the cup home. The cup is already here. I just want them, and I have full confidence that they will help us keep the cup. Diplomatic answer, and of course what you'd expect from Siraj, but it is surprising that he's out of reckoning. Surprising in the sense that he's someone who only 2 years prior was considered good enough to be starting World Cup games, but it's not really the case right now. Of course, team management changes, and the fact that they are very focused on having batting depth has definitely hurt him. But as he said, he took it like an absolute champ. So this is some of the major talking points from Siraj's PC, and it'll be interesting to see if what he's saying is true. Can they create more chances against Daryl Mitchell and get him out? Can Jadeja strike back into form? Will the good team atmosphere contribute to India clinching the series? We'll know all of that tomorrow, and of course we'll be bringing you the coverage of that match live. For now, I'll take your leave, but if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook, and stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport.